This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories.
And welcome to my ranking of the 8 best shows of 2022. With it, I'm considering full shows, and I think that could have began in late 2021 and ended sometime in 2022, although half the season has to have aired in 2022 since a show that would have, let's say, aired most of its season in 2021 and had the last, let's say, 2 or 3 episodes in 2022 would not count. But something that had around half of its season come out at the end of 2021 and the rest come out sometime in 2022 is fair game for this. And besides that, it has to be full TV shows. I am not counting any specials. And also, if it's just a series of shorts, I am not going to count it. So with that, I'm removing a few things that probably would have made it on the list, and those will be mentioned right now in the honorable mentions. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is the first one, and it was a really fun special, and I really did enjoy it. And my reason is since it's not really a TV show, that's the only reason it's not going to make it onto the list, but still, I really enjoyed it. The same goes for Werewolf by Night. Once again, it was a really good special, and since it's a special, I can't really count it, but still, it works really well. The final one is Tales of the Jedi, and I loved this show, which is just a series of shorts, but I think counting a bunch of shorts against full TV shows is a little unfair since with them this is up to the length of maybe one live action show, 1 or 2 episodes depending on what show it is and their length, or maybe 2 to 3 or a few episodes of animation, but yeah, I don't think it's really that fair to try and put them together in this ranking, which is why I don't have it on there. But this would definitely have made it on the list if I considered it part of it. I want to give Archer, Pennyworth, and Stargirl all honorable mentions. Also, I did enjoy the shows and definitely recommend to watch them from this year, but I don't think they deserve to be in the top 8. With the top 8, I'm going to be giving reasons and everything, and just wanted to mention these. Definitely recommend to watch them, but they just didn't make it onto this list. At number 8, the only one of Marvel's shows to make it on here was Moon Knight, and with it, this year Marvel had, at least in my opinion, a really weak year of shows. Moon Knight was a really good show. I really enjoyed that, but in my opinion, Miss Marvel was really bad, and She-Hulk was just okay until the finale was completely terrible. But just going into Moon Knight, really enjoyable show. With it as a great mystery, a great storyline, and just so many great, crazy things going on as you follow the story of Mark Spector as Mark Spector and Stephen Grant, I believe, as they go and look into their past and try to just reconcile together and try and take down the evils of the world. And yeah, it was a really interesting show. I really enjoyed it. Wasn't my favorite, but it's a really enjoyable show that I highly recommend. And that's why I decided to put it at 8th place because I really enjoyed it and I think it deserves to be on this list. At 7th place is Superman and Lois Season 2. Season 2 was a really good season. Didn't enjoy it as much as Season 1, which made it really high on my list last year. With it, it was 3rd place on my list last year, and although it is pretty low on here, still I really enjoyed it and thought they did a good job with it. Although this is probably a little controversial, at number 6 I have Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I know some people really didn't like this show, but overall I really enjoyed Obi-Wan Kenobi. I thought the story it was really it was well told overall. Yes, there are some flaws with the show. It is not perfect, but I really enjoy it for what it was, and just some of the scenes in it with Obi-Wan taking on Vader were truly amazing. But yeah, the one thing is, I really wish this was at number 1, but even though I really enjoyed it, this is not my favorite Star Wars show, and it's not up there with my favorites, but still I enjoyed it enough, and I think they did a really good job, but it wasn't the truly amazing spectacle I expected, but still I really enjoyed it. Kind of unexpectedly to me, a year ago at number 5 is Peacemaker. This was such a fun show, and I really enjoyed watching it every week. It was so funny and so crazy. And with it, I was really surprised how much I loved it because before the Suicide Squad, I never really loved John Cena as an actor. I always thought he was in some pretty bad movies and stuff, and it was all just stuff for little kids, but I love him in a rated R setting. He does such a great job as Peacemaker, and this show is just truly amazing. I loved watching it. Making it to number 4, just outside the top 3, is Young Justice Phantoms, and I really enjoyed this season. I put it as an honorable mention last year since just around half the season dropped, and with it, I really enjoyed the season. I think that it was pretty interesting with the storylines, everything with the Legion, General Zod, and just so many other crazy things going on. Such a it was such a fun show, and I really loved everything with the universe. Really hope it gets a new season, but yeah, I just really loved it, and I think it deserves this spot. But I knew what was going to be in the top 3 the entire time, and this is what I knew before even making this video. I was like, I'm gonna probably do another one. I'm like, I already know what my top 3 is, so let's go take a look at it. At number 3 is, funnily enough, The Boys Season 3. I loved this season of The Boys. Such a crazy season with so many crazy things. You had Herogasm, you had Soldier Boy, who was perfectly played. You had so many other crazy things with the Deep. You had Homelander being a complete psychopath. Just so much great stuff. This season was so amazing. It had just so many crazy twists and turns. The story was really compelling, and I just had so much fun watching it. I truly love The Boys. Such a great show. And although The Boys Diabolical did drop earlier this year, it was just it was a fun show, but it was not as good as this one where we just got to see so many crazy things happening, and it was just so fun to watch. I truly enjoyed every week of watching the show, and yeah, I honestly think that it deserves 3rd place. It was a show I really loved, and with it, it easily made it into the top 3. And I just knew of them, this was number 3 because I enjoyed just number 2 and number 1 so much more. At number 2 is Stranger Things 4. And oh, I loved this season. Such a crazy season. And I watched it, well, each part in one day. Part 1 was crazy because of how long it was, but I really loved that. And when I watched part 2, such a crazy ending and so many crazy twists once again. I loved the story. It was super compelling. Everything was just insane in it. It had just such well written characters. Everything was super interesting. The ending twist leading into the fifth and final season is really cool. And yeah, honestly, I loved this one so much. It was such a great show, and it was just so much fun to watch. I really cannot wait to see season 5 and how this is all ultimately resolved. Vecna was a great villain, and it was just such an amazing show. I really loved it. I loved it so much, but there was just one that I loved so much more, and this is a show that I never would have expected making it to first place. At first place is Andor, and I just loved Andor the entire way through. It was such a great show. Everything was so compelling. The characters were amazingly written. It felt so real. You got just so many crazy things, so many compelling characters, and just so much interesting stuff. You had the interesting stuff with Cassian and him just trying to make his way through the galaxy. You had to see the political intrigue with Mon Mothma, Cyril being stuck after everything that happened in the first 3 episodes. You got to see just so many other things with the characters that are introduced. An amazing role played by Andy Serkis of the character Kino Loy. Luthen Rail was also amazing. And so many of the other characters were just so well written, so compelling, and so interesting. I just really loved this show. It was so interesting to see, and it was so much fun to watch this. And I'm not even done with my content with it because, as you have seen, I clearly haven't had the chance to record my recap for the final 2 episodes of Andor. That'll be out sometime this week. Well, next week, really, and next year. But yeah, this is going to be my last video of the year. I might have some streams or something later on today, but yeah, there's gonna be no more videos releasing, at least that I'm planning, until 2023. So I do want to know what you think. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode of Legends of Theories next year.
Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.